Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow, and I Want to Grow is just about that, right? It's about our growth. But in this situation, we're celebrating 90 years of the anniversary of the British Council. Can you imagine just how many people they've been helping grow? So today we have Dr. Khalid on the podcast with us. Dr. Khalid, please, can you introduce us and tell us exactly what you have done?
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much, Steve, for sitting together and chatting about education in this country. If you give me a chance, I'd just like to congratulate the British Council for their achievement worldwide, 90 years of an achievement worldwide and 52 years probably in Qatar. It's remind me of all things that went through in my life with the British Council in Qatar, because I was most of the time close to them and at different level, being students and being, staff at Qatar University. Yeah, if you'd like to know a little bit about myself.
We were talking just before, and
Yeah.
I find it just incredible that you were part of the system with the British Council in the very early days.
Yes.
And also your children.
Yes.
And probably your children's
That's what I
children's going to
thought
be.
I will speak about. Yeah, when I came.
Yeah. How has that relationship been?
Yeah. If I say that, I remember the old building of British Council, okay, which was in a place we call it 𝗚𝗥𝗢𝗪, or it's in Ras Abu Aboud Road at that time, and at that time we used to take our our children and myself to there to at least take some courses in English. And I remember that we have to go through tests, and there are different levels of English, and that in fact was solid background for my children, because all of them, they were educated in Western universities and become now doctors and graduated, whether in medical or in a professor at the university. I think that was a very important period of my life. But then it followed when I worked at the Qatar University, first as a faculty there. I remember a lot of exchange that we had British Council, and I had the golden opportunity when I graduate that they give me a chance to be trained in St. Mary's Hospital in Manchester and in Royal Free Hospital in London. Those two, experience that I had in my life, it always reminded me how British Council affected me, not only educationally, train-wise, but also to be exposed culturally to the UK, not through the city, but through people working in the laboratories there, where I used to work with them all the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a huge opportunity.
Yes.
And as you said, you learned just this week we've been learning more about the culture and how important it is. And so what was it like when you went to the UK?
Yeah, at that time, of course, it's more what was like here. So for me, to go out and like this is some kind of cultural shocks and like this. But soon I adapted there, and I learned a lot of things from there. It was a beautiful city. It was the crowd was less than today. But the British Council, they were very helpful. They picked us from the airport and they put us in the right place. So we had no problem in being in a place where, you don't know anything about it or something. The most important things that I learned there is punctuality and organizations. These are things that affected my life and made my career easier in my future work. I was amazed, if I tell you, you may make fun of me, that when I see people in line to buy one piece of banana or one apple in the street. This is not common in my country, but it shows how, people have strict to the rules, give the opportunity to everybody, and so I learned a lot positive things from there.
Yeah.
Every country has a positive and negative, but since I arrived there, I put in my mind, Khalid, look for positive things there and try to learn and adapt to your life.
And what was it like coming from Qatar going to the UK? Because what year was this that you went to the UK?
I went in probably 81, 82, yeah.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
I remember that's when I was just joining the forces.
Yes, yeah,
at
that was,
age.
you know, I was still, doing my PhD students, but they gave me that opportunity because I was working for Qatar University. And it was very successful because not only, I learned, but I adapted a lot of methodology to be used in the hospital. I was, for a period of time, working with the hospitals in the area of medical genetics.
And with your experience, and there's a whole wealth of experience that you've got. You were an undersecretary of the education here in Qatar. So there's so much, you've got so much experience. And the part of that journey was with the British Council.
Yes, part of it was not only, and later on, if I expand to that, I was the one who works with the British Council to send our students, and because I had the experience, I'm always in touch with them to work in programs, for our students, for our faculty exchange, and for all others, so that they go through those programs. We have advantage for UK in particular because it's close. And a lot of Arabs are there. So, students, when they go there, they never feel they are strange or something, especially nowadays. So these advantage makes, our students are always willing, even the girls, willing to go there and spend time and study there and learn from the education hub there.
And have you ever taken a second just to realize how many ripples that is being created by the British Council? And you were saying that you instigated it into the schooling.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many ripples it did?
Yeah, there was a lot of ripples, and gradually, and as I go from one job to another job, things changed. Okay, so when I was at Qatar University, I was promoting the British Council and to our students so that they can go and working with them in programs and like this so that they can go. Then I worked hard to establish an IELTS center in Qatar University with the British Council, where they were helping us a lot in establishing the IELTS Center for foundation student at Qatar University, because I was the director of the foundation for certain years. And later on, when I became the assistant undersecretary for education, it was the area where we started collaboration with universities, opening campuses, branch campuses from those elite universities in Qatar to work here, and selective one, and also encourage the private sector to be involved in this area of work. And currently, I'm so happy that we have several British university, working on the ground here, and not only working, and it's expanding every year to bigger and bigger university. And some of them, I know, they have already established a permanent building that was built for them in Qatar now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've been one of those people that's been driving this for many years.
Yeah, you said it. I'm one of them. There are a lot of other people, and working together with the British Council made it successful. Of course, it's not me alone, but there are a team of people, there are a lot of people, and there is ambition of this country to collaborate with UK. In fact, there is always this ambitions and this collaboration. I was in charge of education, but there was a lot of other things. But, fortunately, I put my effort having a background in education, and I think it was a successful journey.
Yeah, it's a successful journey, because you look at what I think now, and I think you'll agree with me, the way that Qatar has shaped itself, the way that Qatar has grown over the years, without the education side of things, without that kind of teaching and training these young individuals, Qatar wouldn't be in the same position it's in right now. So it's been the linchpin of the country going, because it's gone quick. It's gone so quick, the development of Qatar. You've got to have the individuals to be able to take it that way. So you've been one of the linchpins of that whole process. And look at the way that Qatar is now. It's being seen by everybody around the world right now.
I must be very thankful to the leaderships in this country.
Of course.
Yes, their vision and their ambition to grow this country was grateful. I'm a kind of old person, and I know and I notice all the changes that this country has gone through. Every time when I go to conferences and like this, people ask me, why Qatar? Why this development is Qatar? And I keep answering, it's leaderships who have a long vision for this country and an economy that support that. So both of them are being utilized in a good way. And as you know, education and health is in the top priority of this country. And we notice the changes that's happening in these two fields. And if you want the people to be happy, if you want to be, a real developing country, those two things are the one that change your population and change the mentality and make the people really serve the future of this country.
But remember the World Cup, and I'm going back to the World Cup because I think this was one of the biggest spotlights that happened when people didn't know what to expect. Everybody was coming to the World Cup, everybody was seeing this World Cup, a lot of good, bad press that was out there. But when people really saw that true essence, the culture, the friendliness, I think it just made the world look up and say, whoa, that's a special place. And with me right now is that I help companies come here to establish. And the biggest thing, instead of saying, oh, there's a great tax thing, there's things in the QFC, there's things in the QFZA, what they're all looking at is saying the quality of life.
Absolutely. The World Cup exposed us to the world.
Yeah.
Today, everybody knows country. And always, I know it's a standard that others, compare what Qatar done in organizations, in accepting other cultures, and it was very safe. Everything was done to the extent that I could not imagine that my country can do this today. And when you compare today, you will notice absolutely the difference in this. But absolutely, I would say that the World Cup was an experience for this country, exposed us to the world, and it shows how the Qatari can do. Of course, we've done it with all our allied friends everywhere, internationally and everything. But the management and everything was from Qatar, and it was really managed in a perfect way.
And just going on that, I'm seeing the British Council flash on the screen behind you, and this makes me very, coming from the UK myself and spending 16 years in Qatar, this makes me very proud from a UK perspective to see what organisations are doing outside of our country, and seeing and talking to individuals this has had a major effect on not just individuals, but also on the country as well. So those are the things that I'm really, really so proud of. And I'm proud of being part of Qatar also. I know that you said, I remember the Emir was in the UN, and he looked up and he said, I want to thank my countrymen, and I also basically he was saying, I want to thank the people that are staying in our country too, because you've helped shape it, you've helped bring it to the stage it's at, which was very rewarding for me. So, and I do see the education side of it is a major factor. So very proud. I'm going to ask you a question.
And also, if I add, we are glad that we have, residents of Qatar. They were very helpful. It's not only the Qataris, it's all the people who were living in this country. They were so helpful to make that a success journey.
But what I keep on saying to people, because sometimes you get people that look up and say, yeah, but it was a World Cup, you were on your best. It's always like that. It's nothing new, right? This is the culture. This is the nature of everybody here. You've got to come and sample that. But it's a really fantastic place. And I'm very proud of Qatar, as well as being proud of my own country. Oh my word, Qatar is something very, very special.
And that pushed the tourism in Qatar after. Yeah, of course, we're looking for much more, but tourism has been really become much better than before now because of the World Cup.
I keep coming back to it because I've seen over the years, Qatar change over the years for the better. The infrastructure, the education side of it seems just to keep on growing. The health, the medical side of things, the industry, that's growing. It's like fintech. It's like all those things that are growing in all those industries. And we haven't said oil and gas, that everybody expects it. We're looking at other areas that are a lot more important. And that's the essence of Qatar. But I still keep on coming back to the education side of things. Because when you were involved in this, this was the bedrock of the country. And as you said, the leadership of the country, the Sheikh Hamid, 𝗙𝗪𝗀𝘀𝘁 for education, look at what she's done.
Yes, and the women movements and all these things. Yes, yes.
It's incredible. And I still think it comes back from this education, giving people an opportunity. And that's what Qatar has done. But then you hear from people like yourself that's been one of those people that's been leading the way. And you say that the British Council has helped so much. It's just so rewarding for me. And I'm so glad that they're hitting 90 years. It's been a huge benchmark for them, but they've done some magnificent work, which I'm really proud of.
Yes, we are also proud of their achievement. It's not only in Qatar, it's in all the region, especially the Gulf region, because for us, the British Council is well known with their activities, and I keep remembering taking my children there for their classes, every 4 or 5 days a week like this. Yeah.
I'm going to say this also because we started, I know that I've got questions here because I wanted to ask you questions, and you looked up to me and you said, I was hoping we were just, we haven't even gone with any of the questions right now, but it's been a wonderful story that you've had in the way that you're the biggest advocate, it sounds, for the British Council and what it's done for you, your family, and what it's doing continually for the future of the education. I won't say the future, but how they help and assist. And that's the one thing that I've seen so much. It's untrue. It's wonderful to see their story. With this, and I'm just going to read one of these questions. The UK universities exhibitions and student recruitment efforts are crucial for fostering international education. How has the partnership been between Qatar and the UK universities to help shape the student opportunities and the future developments?
Well, collaborations between different Qatari university, and when I say the Qatari university, whether it's private or public sectors, we have big for public universities and the private sectors. The collaboration ended up a lot of time with some kind of MOU with institutes in UK, and that MOU is not only paper, it's become translated into exchange of students, exchange of faculty, exchange of programs, and collaborative research together between the institutes. Okay, of course these were supported by grants, whether from UK or from Qatar National Fund here in Qatar, and as a result those research, they become also known for their hitting prime need of both countries, such as climate change, energy efficiency. All these things are important issue that has been touched through research and collaborative research between the two countries.
Yeah, it has been. And I look at University of Aberdeen that's here. You've got King's College that's here. The list goes on. It's
Ulster University, Northumbria, all of them are here.
Yes. I think that Strathclyde is got some. I know that they've got people here that's working very closely with the oil and gas. I know that I've been talking to some of them recently. But it's phenomenal with the way that things have been developed, and it's been wonderful. Where do you see the collaboration between Qatar and with the British Council going forward? How do you see this all developing?
I think there is a lot of development coming with this, and of course we've done the basic things, and now it's to advance in these basic things in Qatar. For example, we have to encourage more campus universities to come here. We need to work on that one so that it comes and expand here. We have one of the important things is that to encourage collaborations between industry and academic institutes in both countries. Because in today's world, it's not anymore academic can work in isolation.
Yep.
You have to work with industry. And we are fortunate in Qatar, we have, the energy industry, which is one of the biggest industry which can also be involved. But also in UK, there are a lot of, industry where can, our student can get benefits. So industry involvement is something that we have to think about in future. The other thing is that, we have to also start thinking about future education, which is the utilization of AI, the hybrid educations and all these education. I think it's time now also in the future to work together. And these are in fact much easier than what we have done before.
Yeah.
So it's a green area to expand in this field and work together in this field to push the education in both country and the collaboration Qatar. I think we both now at certain stage we were getting the benefit, most of the benefit. But today, I think both of us can collaborate and get benefit because there is, a very good and strong education in Qatar.
Dr. Khalid, you're one special person, let me tell you. What message would you give to them on this day, the British Council?
Yeah. Of course, I have a general message that, I will always look to, that the student success in, in their education in UK. And my message to the student is that, please learn from the culture, from the country, from everything, not only from educations. Number two, emphasize skills and learning. In today's education, we learn, we need the skills more than the, just the knowledge. The knowledge is needed, but you need the skill to build on it. And third is that I think the relations between, Qatar through the British Council, because of educations, it's strengthening, and it will strengthen more as we work together. We need to work together, exchange visits, and see where are the opportunities that we can build on it. And it's usually happen when both sides sit together, discuss things, and see how they can build this trust and build what we have built through years, to serve both countries' interests, especially in the area of education.
Wonderful. And is there, and I'm asking everybody this, is there one word that you can describe best the British Council?
To pick up one word is difficult.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but I would say positive.
Yeah.
Yes, it's positive. It's really a positive. Yes.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
welcome.
to highlight all the great work that the British Council's done, and also highlight yourself. I've been fascinated by your story. You are magnificent and what you've done. Thank you so much for taking time out today.
Thank you very much, Steve. It's my pleasure to sit next to you in this meeting, and I hope all the success for a British Council, and especially working with Qatar.
Thank you so much indeed.
You're welcome.